The Queensland Digital Ready program is funded by the Queensland Government's Department of Innovation and Tourism Industry Development and developed in consultation with the Queensland Tourism Industry Council, Tourism and Events Queensland and the regional tourism organisations. Hello and welcome to this video workshop on online reviews and reputation management. This video is part of the Queensland Digital Ready program for 2019 and it's my absolute pleasure to present this workshop to you. My name is Liz Ward. I'm one of the co-founders of Tourism Tribe and we've been very fortunate at Tourism Tribe to play a significant role in the delivery of the program. Now, this is a very important module within the Queensland Digital Ready program because online reputation is so critical to driving our business forward and sustaining our business. This agenda has been structured to cover off the following. Section 1 will look at guest feedback and how it does drive business outcomes for you, why reviews are important, and how creating experiences is a key strategy to increasing your business and how you can increase those all-important reviews. Section 2 will do a high-level overview of the Best of Queensland Experiences program, including the role of the platform Review Pro in the Best of Queensland Experiences framework. And in Section 3, we will look at best practice online review management. So where and how your customers can leave a review, what your customers expect from you as a manager in your business when they leave a review, and how to manage negative and positive comments when you're responding to your customers. What we hope you'll walk away with from this session is an understanding of why reviews are so important to customers and how they do drive your business outcomes, how you can take insights from guest reviews and leverage them in your guest experiences and marketing for business growth. You'll gain an understanding of the Best of Queensland Experiences program and Review Pro, and you'll also learn about how to increase your online reviews and how to apply best practice to effectively respond to your online reviews. This module is suitable to tourism operators who would consider themselves to be at a beginner to intermediate level in terms of managing their online reputation for their business. You have a workbook that accompanies this video, which you can find at this link, bit.ly/dr video workbooks. Please pause the video here and download that workbook. You may choose to print it or work with it in a digital format in Microsoft Word. But what I'll be doing throughout this session is I'll be suggesting to you that you do pause the video and undertake the exercises during the session. There's also important additional resources listed in that workbook and places for you to take your notes as well. We must always point out to you that whilst these videos have been created in May 2019, because digital platforms are continually changing, we can't guarantee or warrant that the content is completely accurate or completely up to date. So always ensure that you check for currency and stay up to date. Do your own research and seek professional advice and also the advice of your peers. If you registered for the Digital Ready program in 2019, you should have received your digital engagement health check. One of the aspects of that health check that very much relates to this module is your TripAdvisor score. So in the assessment, we reviewed your presence on TripAdvisor and your responsiveness and how you respond to reviews. We also would have looked at your reviews in Google My Business and whether you have recommendations in Facebook as well. So please go and find your digital engagement health check and have a look at how you scored, particularly in TripAdvisor or Google My Business, and reflect on the review portions of those platforms, those elements, as we move through our tips and suggestions on how to really leverage your online reputation to grow your business and the things that you can implement to do that. So let's get started on Section 1. Guest feedback driving business outcomes. So why are reviews important to customers and how they drive your business outcomes? The first thing we'd like to point you to is this landmark YouTube video that was recorded in 2009. Now, Dave Carroll, country and western singer, he had a very poor customer experience with United Airlines in America. And being a singer-songwriter, out of frustration when he couldn't get any quality response from them to assist them with the replacement or compensation for their mishandling of his very valuable guitar, his tool of trade, he decided to make a film clip about it. And that film clip went viral. And it tells a story of not wanting to value customer feedback and not having the processes in place or accountability throughout their staff levels to deal with this situation. Now, I'm not going to play the video because it's about 4 minutes long, but what I'd love you to do, if you've not watched it, is to go and play that video. And what you'll find in your workbook is that we've included a little bit of text there about the outcomes of him doing this and how viral this video was. So in 2009, when this video went overnight, it became viral. And you can see in this screen grab here that it's been watched 18 million times. What that did is it changed the way businesses and industries thought about social media or thought about the online environment with regard to their reputation. And it made us sit back and realise that we weren't in control of this customer message and that it was on steroids and that we need to pay careful attention to our online reputation. So go and play that video and read the notes in your workbook, and it just helps to set the scene about how things changed from that point going forward. So why are reviews important today? Well, 92% of travellers indicate that their decisions are highly influenced by reviews and other user-generated content. 68% of customers will book a room at a property that responds to reviews over a hotel that doesn't. And 33% of travellers have changed their primary choice during the booking process after using social media and review sites. And I think this one is critical, and that is the research that Cornell University did that says that the percentage by which a hotel can increase its pricing while maintaining the same occupancy of market share if it improves its review scores by 1 point on a 5-point scale is 11%. It's how much they can increase their pricing by if they can increase their review overall rating by 1 point. So it's critically important as a profitability driver and sales growth driver for your business, because me as a consumer, any of us as a consumer, when we go onto TripAdvisor or we're searching on Google and we see products that are priced very similarly, but there is a difference in the review rating, we're going to go to the one that has the higher review. Or if we see consistent 5-star reviews or 4.5 stars reviews compared to similar products that might be only 4-star reviews, we're prepared to pay 11% more because the risk is taken out of it. We know that we're pretty much guaranteed good service and that we'll get what we expect when we book. TripAdvisor alone, it is the world's biggest travel website, and reviews are absolutely core to the platform. So they have more than 470 million active monthly users and 661 million different reviews and opinions and 270 new contributions per minute. So it is absolutely massive. But then there are a lot of other review platforms as well, aren't there? And you have probably experienced in your business an increase over the last few years in reviews coming from Google and Facebook. So we can use TripAdvisor as a key platform to analyse what people are saying about our business, as well as keep our eye on what is coming through those other platforms as well. The power is really in the hands of the consumer, and it always has been in terms of word of mouth. But what's really changed over the last couple of decades with regard to word of mouth is the number of people that can read the consumer's opinion. So, whilst in 1990, you've taken a holiday, you'd go home, you'd tell a few friends and your family about your experiences. Now you put that opinion onto TripAdvisor or Booking.com, Facebook, Google, and literally hundreds of thousands of people will see that review. So it is amplified and it is there for a long time. So that is the key difference in terms of the evolution of word of mouth. There's a law that we have put together that we think is really important in terms of scene setting and thinking about the importance of our consumers' view of our services. And we call that the law of value exchange. And if we reflect on how things have changed, in the past, say 10 years or more ago, the exchange of value between a business and a traveller was less complicated. If I was staying at a hotel, I would give money, I'd get a room. So going on a tour, give money, I get a tour experience. But what's really shifted now is that when, as a tourism business, I'm receiving guests or taking them on a tour, I have to really give them amazing experiences. And in exchange, not only for giving them the product or the service, as well as giving them amazing experiences and top-notch customer service, what I get back is their love and appreciation. And that comes in the form of their amplified reviews and opinions about my business. And that's going to drive my next sales. It's going to drive my business growth going forward. And so it's really important that we think of the value exchange as being encompassing not only the product and service, but the level of customer service and the remarkability of the experience that we're providing. 2/3 of marketing is done today without marketers. What that's speaking to is the amount of voice and content that your guests have as compared to official marketing organisations and your business and the content you put out there. So this is another massive shift that we are now working with in our marketing environment that we need to be mindful of and think about how we work in with that and accept that and use it as an amazing asset to actually have our business shone in a very positive light. What I'd like to do is look at a mini case study to look at how we can not only get value from the actual star ratings of our reviews and the high opinions in those reviews, but actually use it as a way to get insights about how we might then be able to improve our business by way of improving customer experience. Little case study we're going to look at is a favourite motel of mine that I like to stay in Roma called the Roma Central Motel. And the operators there are very good. And you can see they have 160 reviews with a 5-star rating and they're number 2 of 11 hotels in Roma. They really know how to look after their guests. So when I go to search as a consumer, their listing on TripAdvisor, I scroll down the page and what I can get to is more detail about the reviews, but I can get to these popular mentions. Here I am at the top of their listing and scroll down here, go past the information and get down here to the overview of the reviews. And then here are the popular mentions. And it's in these popular mentions are little bits of gold where we can see the frequently used terms and words that people are using in their reviews. So these are all frequently. So they're appreciating the complimentary bottled water. So on-board water, some people struggle a little bit with the taste. This is helpful to them. owners were friendly. So that's a key theme coming through. Excellent central location, lovely bathroom, went above and beyond. So that relates to the service there as well. Walking distance to pubs. That relates again to the excellent central location. Now I can click on any one of these and it will bring up just those reviews that mention that. And I can have a read of them as the manager and see that, see the sorts of comments that are coming through. So that helps me to understand as a manager, what is it that people are finding really important? Excellent central location. What do I do with that information then? Is that something I need to focus a little bit more in my marketing? Or if they're mentioning about a particular service, is there an opportunity there just to enhance that a little bit because this is important to them? Or does it give me leads and ideas for creating additional services or experiences that are similar to that? So you can see the value of analysing the feedback, not just responding to it and measuring it and keeping an eye on it, but also looking at what people are saying. So how could you take those comments and inform changes in your business when you look at your word cloud on TripAdvisor, or have a look, go through the comments on other review platforms and see what people are saying? And in addition to that, think about how you could incorporate those guest comments into your marketing. Pick them up and copy them as testimonials onto your website. Take a screenshot of them or retype them onto a lovely post that you've created in canva.com or pop it onto an image and post it as an Instagram story, or capture a video testimonial in situ with your guest and do that as a Facebook video post. So think about these two aspects of how you can really utilize, leverage and work with guest content in your marketing. So what I'd like you to do now is to pause the video and go to the workbook and go to exercise 1 on page 5 of your workbook and do that exercise that I just did on TripAdvisor to see what are the common themes coming through your word cloud. Now, if you haven't had enough data, enough reviews, you may not have that word cloud. Or if you don't have a TripAdvisor listing, you can go and have a look at your reviews on Google so Google your business and find those reviews in your Google, in the panel that includes your Google My Business listing. And also have a look on Facebook or other review platforms for that. So how did you go with that exercise? Did it trigger off any ideas for you for how you could enhance the experiences for your customers or utilize content in your marketing? I hope so. So the real key, and it's starting to come through in this presentation, is that if you want to use reviews to drive and grow your business, the absolute heart of doing that is to create remarkable experiences and to exceed guest expectations. Because when you surprise and delight a little bit, that is what really makes people impressed, because they just weren't expecting you to do that little bit extra. And if you are providing experiences that are really connecting with them as people, they will want to remark on them. They are your remarkable experiences. What remarkable experiences do is they create happy memories for people about their holidays, and often it's about connecting people to people that do that, either guests being enabled as families or couples or friends to really be able to connect based on the location and the experiences that you're enabling. And it's also about connecting with you and tour guides. It's that great storytelling. It's that human connection that creates a happy memories. If you can make them smile, then they will become advocates for your business and leave positive reviews. So What do customer-centric businesses look like? So these are businesses that have the customer at the heart of all of their decisions. And we see this, we see these examples all the time as we're working with different tourism operators and hospitality businesses. They're constantly thinking that the customer is the most important asset in my business, and I have to be continually trying to improve that customer experience. And that is a hallmark of an entrepreneur. An entrepreneur is constantly thinking, how do I improve customer experience? And then they invent that next product or service, which they might then go on to sell. And then they invent the next one, or within their business, they have an entrepreneurial attitude where they're continually seeking to improve the customer experience. Another hallmark is that the customer feedback is integrated into the culture in your business. You love the feedback. You know it's not going to be perfect 100% of the time. Mind you, occasionally I have met businesses where they've never had a negative review, but that's unrealistic. Sometimes things just don't go right on the day. So, but you accept that customer feedback is going to teach you, it's going to inform you about how you can keep improving the business. So anybody who works in your business, they need to subscribe to that same attitude and to really value customer feedback. You will review that feedback. You will have team meetings where you review the feedback every week. You might print that feedback out, put it up on the wall, so you have like a wall of fame of the reviews that you've received. You analyze those with the team. You're on it every day. You have a process and a policy in place to respond to reviews daily so that they're not waiting overnight to be responded to. So you're having a much more timely conversation with the people who've left that review. The other hallmark is that they do have a customer-centric business does have an attitude of surprise and delight. So they're prepared to go just that little bit extra to make their customers feel very special. So they might have those extra little things like, the filtered water or bottled water for people. So, find what it is that your customers really appreciate. I've loved it when I've stayed at country motels and I'm about to head off in the morning and I come out and they've washed my windscreen and left a little note under the windscreen wiper or a TripAdvisor card. That little bit of extra thought about great clean windscreen, I feel much better driving off now. You thank and reward their customers. So that's another hallmark. As you're checking out, there might be a little local produce thank you gift, something to nibble on the way home. Tie onto that a little card that says, if you've loved your stay with us or your tour with us, please leave us a review. So just prompting for that at the same time. The other thing that I see in businesses, in terms of another example, is just taking that time to connect with the person at check-in or when you welcome them to the tour. In an accommodation sense, the businesses who do this well they'll sound out the guest and offer additional information. It might be about the history of the place or the decor or the art up on the walls. They'll offer information about what you can do in the area. Where were you planning to have dinner? Oh, these are really good places to go to. Have you booked in for this tour? Here, I can do that for you. And the accommodation operator can be getting some commission by booking that tour for the tour company down the road. So the other, just little things. If there's a beautiful sunset viewing spot at the back of the cottages, walk out with them, show them and say, look, if you like, we can organise a bottle of wine and a cheese platter for you. So enhance the experience opportunities, connect with people, tell stories, and then look for ways to offer enhancements to the experience, because it's those little things often which become the remarkable experiences. And what about increasing reviews? How do we increase the reviews? One thing is to put at the heart of your business the customer, as we've just been saying, and look for ways to surprise and delight and create remarkable experiences. That's the baseline. That's the foundation, because if you do that, you will get more reviews. Then on top of that, you do need to invite feedback, because some people just need to be prompted sometimes. And I read a statistic not that long ago that when you ask somebody to their face to leave a review, 70% of people will do that. So when they're staying with you or on the tour, encourage them to leave a review. Just in conversation, just ask them. Have signage visible. So signage on your windows, tables, in the room, reception desk. Pop it onto tours and activities equipment, or a handout that you're giving to somebody, like those beautiful, that little bit of local produce you're giving as a gift when they're leaving. Or you might have it in their room for them. If you're having a lovely time with us, we'd love your feedback. Please leave us a review. And then they'll choose which platform they want to leave it on, though you might want to put a little logo of TripAdvisor, Facebook and Google, those direct business platforms, to encourage them to choose the one that suits them. Always add a link in follow-up post-stay emails. Make a nice tidy hyperlink to your exact listings on Google, your Facebook page and your listing on TripAdvisor. And put it maybe on the back of your business card. We really value your feedback, and pop those 3 icons onto the back there as well. And now please pause the video and go to have a look at increasing reviews, page 7 of your workbook. I'll just pop over there and just show you this exercise. So here you'll see we've got an exercise about increasing reviews. So what we want you to do here is to think laterally about how you could enhance customer experience, or could you change your internal processes to create extra positive online reputation? There's some things you need to do. Can I just share a tip with you here? And I've noticed not many accommodation businesses do this, but all staff who are checking in your guests, and I think also with hospitality businesses, when you're seating people, is to take the opportunity to say a very short sentence, magic little words of, if there is absolutely anything that's not quite right or we can do for you, please don't hesitate to let us know. Here's our phone number. You can get us anytime, or send us a text message, or we're here till whatever. Just make sure that people know that you welcome their feedback, because you will preempt issues when they occur in most cases. So what could you do in terms of experiences or processes? Do you need different HR or procedural changes to make this happen? And what are the small and simple changes you could do to increase reviews in general? So please pause the video here and make some notes there that you can then follow up back in the business with your team. So hopefully you've got some ideas out of that session, and you'll be able to look to implement those following doing this module. So now we'll move on to section 2, Best of Queensland Experiences program. We're just going to do a high-level overview of the program and the role of the Review Pro platform. So the Best of Queensland Experiences program, this has been born by Tourism and Events Queensland out of their recognition that 93% of travellers say their booking decisions are impacted by online reviews, and that 92% of consumers trust recommendations over all forms of advertising. So Tourism and Events Queensland, about 2 years ago, said we need to listen to the consumer when it comes to identifying the best tourism businesses in Queensland. And we want to know, and we want to amplify the best tourism Queensland business, the best businesses in Queensland tourism. We don't want to be subjective about this. We want to look at their online profile and what consumers are saying about them and how well they interact with consumers. And we can do that now because all of this information is publicly available. So they developed a program called the Best of Queensland Experiences program, which is essentially a benchmarking framework to identify the top businesses that they can then put forward in their marketing programs. So they've developed a set of criteria, and the first one, and the one that has the most weighting, is around the delivery of an exceptional experience, which is measured by customer reviews via a platform called Review Pro. Now, 60 points out of a possible 100 points, so it's a significant weighting on this criteria, is dedicated to customer reviews. And then you can see that there are other criteria as well. So there is the requirement to have secure online booking platform on your website for customers to utilise to book directly with you, or to enable immediate booking if they are on your website. Active and engaging social media presence, and this criteria is discussed in the Facebook video as well as the Instagram video. You get 5 points, so 15 points for each of secure booking and social media, and then 5 points for a regional tourism organisation membership, and for qualification in a qualified accreditation program. That adds up to a total of 100 points. You just need to get 80 points or more to qualify for the Best of Queensland Experiences program. To be listed at all, though, to be assessed at all, you need to have a listing in the Australian Tourism Data Warehouse, the ATDW. So that is your starting point. You can get information about that by going to teq.queensland.com, and you will find information about ATDW as well as the Best of Queensland Experiences program. Now, the Review Pro platform, so Review Pro is a company that aggregates review data, reviews from over 175 platforms across the planet, to be able to develop what they call a global review index. Now, those of you who have been assessed for the Best of Queensland Experiences program will have received a report that looks a bit like this on the right. So this global review index, it's an overall measure, and you can see here in this example that this business has a really nice high score of 87.9. Now, you have to be able to have over 80 to pass to get the 60 points. So you have to have over 80 to get the 60 points in this criteria here. So, and it takes into account these sorts of things. It takes into account the number of reviews and the positivity in those reviews. So what has been the overall score of those reviews? You have to have had at least 25 reviews for it to assess it. It also looks at how positive it is, and it shows you this as well. And you get a semantic analysis. So like the word cloud we're just looking at on TripAdvisor, similar here, you can see what are the key things coming through the reviews, not just what they're writing in comments, but also the boxes they are ticking on the various review platform online forms that they would be completing. So what's positive and what's negative? Green in positive, bigger is more prolific, and then red is negative. And then management response. So what is your response rate? So in this example, the management is responding to only 44% of reviews. We'd like to see that being 100%. So you can see that that's quite a valuable report. So being assessed is even valuable in itself to get this report. Now, the Best of Queensland Experiences program, it's on an annual rotation, and they've just gone out. So we're recording this video at the end of May, and in April, those businesses that have been assessed would have received their reports. And congratulations to everybody who has qualified for the Best of Queensland Experiences program. They're going to be reviewing annually. So if you didn't get in this time, it doesn't matter. You have the opportunity to qualify the next time. Now, how is this going to be utilised? It'll be utilised in a number of ways. It's an industry platform. It doesn't have a public-facing campaign, Best of Queensland Experiences program. Well, certainly that hasn't been the case at this stage. It's more of a behind the scenes program where Tourism and Events Queensland, when they're, for example, they might be putting together a journalists or travel agents familiarisation for Mill into a certain destination, they will be able to go to their data set and go, well, out of that destination, these are the top businesses in the Best of Queensland Experiences program. These are the ones we want to include on the FMIL. Now, previously, they mightn't have known about some of those businesses. They mightn't have had a relationship with your business. Now they do through the Best of Queensland Experiences program. And you can see in this diagram here another example of how it could be utilised. So say if Tourism and Events Queensland, you know, their main role in the tourism ecosystem is marketing, and you can see here how they were looking to create a campaign that was based around sailing in Townsville, and the product category was tours, tour on islands, and the hero experience for the campaign was islands and the Great Barrier Reef. So they were able to go through the 1,262 that they had at that stage, and that's growing all the time, the number of businesses that are qualifying, go through all those businesses and narrow it down to 2 sailing products, and then they chose this one because of the way that the campaign was going to be executed was in a TV campaign. So that's why they chose that one, because of the visuals were more suitable for TV. So it means that Tourism Events Queensland has a much more objective analysis that they can apply and a more inclusive approach, and that they can trust the data because it's based on what the consumers, your guests, are saying. So to get more information about the Best of Queensland Experiences program, the link is here, and we've also have quite a lot of information in your workbook for you as well. And you can also contact your destination partnerships team in Tourism and Events Queensland. Let's move on to section 3, online review management. So where your customers can leave a review, what your customers expect from you as a manager, how to manage negative comments and responding to customers. So where are your reviews going? Have you checked all of these platforms to see if you have reviews there? If you are a caravan park, then WikiCamps, this logo here, is the Bible for campers, particularly for grey nomads who are always seeking out a free camping spot or the best camping spot. And you know, it's you can't respond to those reviews. You can't manage those reviews. It is very much just the consumer platform. And so, but you do need to monitor it. So go in there, download the app. It's about $7, one-time fee. It's a family-owned company that own it. And do a search for your business. Have a look at your region. What are people saying about the facilities in your region? You can respond not to reviews as such, but where people ask questions, you can go in and respond to that. You can put some comments in yourself about points of interest as somebody who lives in the area to help users when they're visiting your area. So get familiar with the app, the WikiCamps app, WikiCamps, and download that if you are in the caravan and camping sector, or if you are watching this and you're a tourism development officer, go and download that and have a look about what it's saying about your region. And check these other platforms, because I expect that if you weren't aware, if they're relevant to you, like booking.com or Expedia, Agoda, if you're in the accommodation game you're distributing, just go and analyse the feedback there. And of course, these major 3 for direct business, Google, TripAdvisor and Facebook. So what do customers expect? They expect a prompt and personal reply. And all reviews where there is a comment left should be responded to. I liken it to somebody saying to you, we absolutely loved staying with you. We loved sitting out the back in the afternoon and watching the sun go down. What a great view you've got. Now, if you were not to respond, just shut your mouth and turn your head and walk away. That would be very rude. So these people have gone to the trouble of leaving a review. You should respond to them. Now, not just to be polite, but to demonstrate to them who might become regular customers, and they're going to tell people about how prompt and courteous you were in responding to the review. But to the other hundreds of people who are going to read that review and your response, that's who you're doing this for. And respond in a personal way. So if their name is included in the review, thanks, Liz, for your feedback. We love that view as well. That's why and we're really pleased that we're able to offer the wine and cheese platter for you to enjoy while you watch the sun go down, because those hundreds of people who just read that response now know that that's something else that they can experience in your business. So there's that opportunity for soft promotion as well. So polite and courteous responses, don't leave them unanswered, especially negative reviews. And why respond? Overall, this is the reason, because 78% of consumers say hearing from management about their reviews makes them believe the business cares more about them. Negative comments. I know it's awful when you get one. When you're somebody who cares about your customer and really cares about the reputation of your business, and you work hard and you strive to provide great service, when you get a negative review, it just really strikes you in your heart. So you have to step away. You can't respond in haste to negative reviews. And in fact, I don't have a problem with people sleeping on it and dealing with it in 24 hours, or writing a draft response and then sleeping on it, or at least going away and going for a walk and coming back to it. This is your opportunity to shine. This is where you show everybody what kind of business owner or manager you are and how much you care about your customers and your business. So you can't take it personally. Take the emotion out of it. Go back and investigate. What are they saying? If it wasn't you they were dealing with, get the full story from your staff. Deal with any complaints swiftly, but not immediately, unless it's in situ and they're just telling you that something went wrong. Deal with it on the spot and take the feedback very seriously. To avoid misunderstandings in your response, use easy to understand language, so no jargon. Repeat details back, so paraphrase in your answer to demonstrate that you understand what they're saying. Be clear and concise, be friendly and courteous, avoid the slang or jargon. Don't make jokes, don't be sarcastic, as tempting as it is sometimes. Don't swear or use offensive language, and never mention anything controversial. Overall, you are aiming to close this down, not to create a ping pong match of argument. You actually want to finish this off and ensure that you have been professional and dealt with it in a concise and closing way. So the steps to respond to negative comments: you thank the reviewer, because remember, you really care about feedback. So you value their opinions and you thank them for that. And do apologise that their expectations were not met. And expectations not being met is the main reason people leave negative reviews. When they expected something else, they expected a minimum level of service and they did not get it, that's when they leave a negative review. Which means that in your marketing, you have to be deadly honest in terms of what the minimum level of service is, so that you can exceed those expectations and not disappoint people. Step 2 is respond directly to the criticism. So address the criticism specifically and what you have done or are doing if it is something that can be rectified. And include some positive in there as well, to indicate that you really find it important that people have a great experience and you know this is not a normal situation. And the closing, make sure you close this out on a positive note. Love to have the opportunity to have them back. Please ask for you. We hope to see you in the future. So exercise 3 is practicing best practice. So you'll see here that we've got 3 pretend sets of feedback. We've got a -1 here. Then we've got a positive review, and then another -1. So what we'd like you to do is to practice writing those responses. You might do it as a little team exercise or with your business partner. And you have some of the guidelines here, and then the steps to respond here, just above there to prompt you. So we'll leave it to you to conduct that exercise. And as I said, it is a good thing to brainstorm on and get other people's opinions on how to do that and practice writing. And another tip we can give you is when you've written those responses, or you might like to do those and then take some other reviews that you've received and copy what you believe are best practice responses to those reviews and put them in a file so that your staff or business partner or caretakers of the business when you're away know how you like them to respond. And the other thing I'd like you to do as another tip is if you have unanswered reviews that only date back within the last month or so on any of the platforms, I would like you to respond to them so that they're not left unanswered. So that completes this workshop. I hope that you found some tips in there, some ideas for leveraging your online reputation, enhancing guest experience, and responding to reviews. Here's an email address, help@tourismtribe.com. So if you have any questions about this topic, don't hesitate to send an email, and one of our team would be happy to assist you with that or clarify any points in this video. Additional resources are available here for you. We've copied these into the back of your workbook as well so that you have them in that Word document and can just click on those links there. So there's some very good pages here about responding. So you might like to look at those as well if it's not something that you feel terribly confident with, is more ideas about responding to guest reviews. The other thing to bear in mind is that on our industry online learning platform, tourismtribe.com, we have a wealth of resources there that you can utilise to learn more about all aspects of marketing and adopting technology in your business. And that is a discount code TT First Date, where you can join a program on Tourism Tribe and receive a discount off your fees to do that. So hopefully now you've walked away with a good understanding of why reviews are important to your customers and how they drive business outcomes, and how to take insights from those guest reviews and leverage them. More about the Best of Queensland Experiences program and Review Pro, and also you know how to increase online reviews and how to effectively respond to online reviews. Thank you very much for watching this video and listening to me, and I do wish you every success in your business. Thanks.